After the ball is over, after this game is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 320. It is Monday, August 20, 2018, as we are recording. We want to welcome all new and returning viewers. We're glad to have you here for the Fun in the Woman Cave. I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
And we're glad that you are with us. Go right into what's in your mug.
Okay, today, and I barely have more projects this time. So, I go first. In my dysautonomia awareness mug, there.
That's pretty full.
It is, that's why I didn't move it too much. Is Plum Deluxe Tea, Blueberry Orange Delight Herbal Tea, and this was a gift from Mom. Take a moment for yourself. And it's honeybush tea, Rubio's tea, strawberries, blueberries, orange peel, blueberry/orange essence, love, and gratitude. No caffeine.
That sounds amazing.
So,
And that was a limited edition, so
yes.
it got snagged.
Um,
Yeah. Good?
yeah, very
Of course
good.
it is. It's Andy. Let's see here. He really is a genius in that.
Yes, he is. He had another good one that popped up on the group.
Yeah. Well, that is good.
Isn't that good?
It is. It's definitely got that fruity taste to it.
Yes, it does.
It's very, very good.
But
Very
a different
light.
fruity taste than some of the other ones.
Yeah, it's more subtle. It's more like
Well, you can
berries.
definitely taste the blueberry.
Blueberries, yeah. It's very, very subtle. It's good. It's very mild.
I would say more mild than subtle because
Yeah.
I can definitely taste it.
Yeah, I
which
can
means,
taste. I can taste one of them particularly. So I think it's probably the strawberry blueberry together.
Yeah, I was gonna say both of them together. I can't actually taste the orange too much.
No.
But very good.
In my St. Paul mug, because this is my second cup of tea, and I just used the same mug I was using. Is my St. Paul mug is my chai tea because it's rainy and I'm sleepy and I want more chai tea. So today I'm having chai tea.
We're wearing blue today.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
My collar keeps choking me.
Alrighty then. Moving on for the next part of this, we want to go into the Cal-Cal-Lals that are going on in other groups. Okay, there's an ongoing Cal-Cal in the Victorian Studio podcast group. That's Maureen. And it is the Harry Potter Cal-Cal. And it started January 1st and goes to the end of the year. Anything Harry Potter related. And the rules are in her group. And she has a really nice podcast. You might want to take a look at it. I don't know. She hasn't podcasted in a while, so I don't know when she'll be podcasting again. But she's fun to watch. She's very talented. So you might want to check that out. The Family Movie Night Cal-Cal is Crocheting Whovian in her podcast group, the Crocheting Whovian podcast group. And that's kind of like our Tea and Tales, as I mentioned before. Anything related to movies. Last time I watched one of her back issues or back episodes, and she was saying anything to do with music and movies and musicals and things like that, I believe is what she said. But if you have a question about it, just ask, okay? And she does have featured patterns and featured yarns and things like that. She has a Year of the Socks Cal-Cal also going on, and that's a year long, and that's exactly what it is, socks, okay? And then the Taurus First Hair is ongoing, so I'll get to that later. But she's fun to watch, so you might want to take a look at that. She has a new one up. She just podcasted a day or two ago, I think it was. The Shorty Socks Cal is Undead Yarn. That's Heidi from, she's Nitty Girl from Undead Yarn. And it's Shorty Socks, but she is accepting other socks as well. And I believe that's a year long. And I don't know when she'll be podcasting again because school started again. But she's well worth watching when she podcasts. Then there's the 18 hats in 2018, Cal, and that's B-Wing. That's Brittany from Comforting Crafts, and she's one of our PHNers, as are all the others that I mentioned, in fact. And she does not have a podcast, but she's very craft-oriented. She's very, very sweet, and the group is really fun. So that's, as we said, 18 hats in 2018, 18 or more. Okay, and if you don't have any place to put all those hats, and they're not all baby hats that maybe you can send to us for the pregnancy center, or you don't have a place to go, send her to Brittany. She has she does hats for the homeless, I think it is. So that's really good. Studio Von Designs is Vonnie from the Bee's Knees group, and that's another one that's not a podcast. But she has a couple of Cal-Cals going. One is 18 toys in 2018, and I wish I could do more with that. My hands just won't allow it, but it's a lot of fun. The toys are adorable, so you check that out. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I haven't finished a toy yet this year.
Yeah, I finished a couple. Not like my usual output. I just can't do it right now. The Dragon Along Cal is also in the Bee's Knees group, and that there's a lot of interesting projects there. A lot of them are toys, but some of them are not. Some of them are shawls, some of them are dishcloths with dragon designs and things like that. So, check her rules. She does not have a podcast, but the rules are there, and she's a lot of fun. The group is a lot of fun. And she's the one who did our badges for the Tortoise versus Hare, so she's very talented. 2018 Tracking Stash is in the Never Cast Off podcast group. That's Deb's Destiny, who is Debbie. And Blue Yarn Always, who is Sheila. That's Never Cast Off podcast. And I'm not quite sure how they're working it, but it's essentially keeping track of your stash, what you're using, what you're acquiring, what you're giving away, that kind of stuff. So that's a lot of fun. And I don't know if they're giving prizes. They had said something a long time ago about if they had enough participation, they might be giving away prizes. And their podcast is fun too. Their podcast, sometimes they do it together. Sometimes Debbie does it on her own. I'm not sure if Sheila does it on her own or not, but I haven't seen one with Sheila by herself, but she might. But they're all very good, so you might want to check them out. And then there's those Summer Knits and the Summer Sock Along. That's 2 alongs in the Girls in the Yarn Cafe podcast group, and that is Yarn Cafe Creations, who is Christy, and Dragon Horde Yarn, who is Tristan. And Tristan is the daughter, Christy is the mom. They both have an Etsy shop. Yarn Cafe Creations is Christy, and Dragon Horde Yarn is Tristan. And as I said last podcast, I believe that Tristan is moving off of Etsy onto a different platform, but I'm not sure what it is. Their podcast is amazing. They're a lot of fun, and they have really nice yarn. Okay, I have yet to buy any because I have to get through my stash with my hands the way they are. So before I buy more, I need to use more. But there are a couple that I'd really like to get from them. They're fantastic. And then the Bakery Bears are doing a Summer of Sorcery along. Okay, and I don't know a whole lot about that. Check out the Bakery Bears podcast group. I'm doing a Patreon one with them, and I can't do both. So I guess I could if I doubled in.
Right, you could.
But I have more time for the the
other one doesn't matter what it is you finish.
Right, and their group is, I love Kate and Dan. They're wonderful. So very, very sweet people. And you check out their podcast. And if you aren't a Patreon and you'd like to be a Patreon, different levels for different things that you get extra. It's pretty amazing stuff.
Yes, it is.
They're very professional level in what they do.
Yes, they are.
Okay, and that's that. I mean, that's the other groups. Let me take a little something to drink here. I'm sorry for slurping, but it's hot and I don't want to burn myself. Okay, our Tortoise versus Hare, which is not really ours. It's Laura Concert's Crocheting Hoovian, her baby, and she asked us very sweetly to be a co-host for the 3rd time this year, and we're really excited about that. And Brittany, who is B-Wing, is also a co-host, and that's Comforting Crafts, as I said. And this is Tortoise versus Hare. Team Tortoise, Team Hare. Make those tortoises, make those hares. There's a lot of smack talk going on. This goes from, it's the same as our dysautonomia. It's
through October.
well, it ends September 31st.
That's right.
September 30th. It ends September 30th. It's a 3-month-long Cal, so it started in July, August, and September.
Yes,
so July
sorry.
through September it runs. And for our group, the rules are slightly different in all the groups, but essentially the same. 1 WIP per project per week. The FO, whenever it's finished, knitted, loom knitted, or crocheted will be accepted. It has to be a tortoise versus hare. It can be toys, it can be mitts, it can be anything that's tortoise versus hare related. The yarn can have a tortoise or a hare name to it, you know, for our group. If you use Franciscan Gypsy Designs, tortoises or hares, then it's eligible for 2 chances at a prize, as is Vani. Vani made those little, I called them coasters Cozy's last podcast, but I think they're actually coasters or pot holders.
Yeah, pot holders.
They're
actually.
She has bunny and a tortoise both each, so
Yes.
those are really cute, and those are eligible for 2 chances at a prize as well. And if you use my yarn to make any featured patterns, that is 3 chances at a prize. And if you just use my yarn for any tortoise or hare project, that's 2 chances at a prize. It's in the thread if I'm being confusing. Let me see here. I have to check my notes. It's PHNTOR versus HAR 2018 for Ravelry, and hashtag PHNTOR TORVS HAR 2018 on.
It's not VS, it's just V.
It's VS. I just mistyped.
Oh, okay.
So on Instagram, okay? And if you see this in the thread and you see one says VS for verses and one says V, it's a mistype. It's meant to be VS. My keyboard sticks a little bit. Projects must not be finished prior to July 1st. They don't have to be finished by the end of the along, but they do have to be worked on by that time, in that time period. Okay, we have an Interwave Crochet 2009 collection CD for 1 prize, and a Happy Fuzzy yarn in the macaw colorway, a skein of that, as another prize. So those are the prizes we're giving out for the tortoise versus hare, and the macaw colorway is really pretty.
It is really pretty.
Okay, all right. The PHNT and Tails year-long Cal, that's also going on in our group, and it started January 1st and ends December 31st at midnight, going into the first of the year. I can't believe we're even looking at that. That's so weird.
It is.
The rules for this are essentially the same. You know, 1 WIP per project per week. The FO whenever it's finished. Chatter in the same thread. They must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted. The featured yarns. My yarn is a featured yarn. Talia's patterns are featured patterns if it's related to Tea and Tails. We have featured patterns from Joanna Johnson, anything that's Tea and Tail related. We have Mom Cook Designs, anything that's Tea and Tail related, that's also going to be a featured pattern. And we have Laura Concert's patterns, especially her Hufflepuff. And thank you to the person who asked me. She said it wasn't in our notes that Laura Concert's Hufflepuff was in there. It is definitely
Yes.
a featured pattern. And if you can manage to make her hat or her new pattern or her cowl related to Tea and or Tails, that will be also a featured pattern. If you do my shawl, my new shawl, and it's you name it something or you use yarn that's Tea and Tail related, then it's also eligible for 2 chances at a prize. So and then if you use my yarn for any of the featured patterns and you do an FO, that's 3 chances at a prize. You know how we work. It's in the
What if it's one of your yarns that is Tea and Tails related with one of my Tea and Tails related patterns?
yeah, that's you get 3 chances at a prize. My brain can't think that much. If you can figure out a way to make it worth 4 and you can write it down, I'll give it to you. Okay? But I can't think about it right now. Okay? I just can't.
You just opened up the floodgates.
I know, but they have to prove it and they have to post it. So, I just can't. I can't. As Laura would say, I can't even. Yes, Laura, we are using your name in vain. Multiple times. Okay. She can take the hit. Oh, I must have spilled a little on there. Okay, let me see here. I just want to make sure I didn't leave anybody out in terms of featured patterns and such. Okay. Now, the prize for this quarter, this third quarter, July through the end of September, is 1 skein of my yarn. It's the Mystic DK base. was Mystic. It's called Mystic, and it's the DK base. And that was donated by Cookie 45, who was Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie. And Stephanie also donated for a second prize a Franciscan Gypsy Designs mug. Okay, so she was very, very generous. Stephanie donated several prizes, as did Jeannie. And I forget Jeannie's.
Oh, blast. I can see her avatar in my head.
I can see, I know her full name and everything, but I don't want to say her full name on the podcast. She's also, the two of them were very, very generous this year. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, I know her last name. I know what her avatar is. I just can't pull.
We have had, you guys have been beyond generous.
Yeah.
All of you have been beyond generous, and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Our members benefit from your generosity, and that makes us happy. So thank you very much for all you do.
I really can't pull her name.
Pull her Rav name. I just can't.
I can pull everything else.
And it might be her name is on there, like Jeannie something.
I don't think it is.
I don't remember, but she's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Okay. They both are. I didn't mean to take away from Stephanie donating because she did. She donated several, and we appreciate that.
We appreciate that.
And she's one of my biggest supporters. She makes me happy. And then the October 4th through December, we have a Plum Deluxe tea package that's going out to some lucky winner, and a Mom Cook loom knit pattern that Renee is donating to a lucky winner, and you would contact her at the end of the fourth quarter if you win it. And then, of course, the big prize is that great big package of mini skeins, all pure wool mini skeins, and 2 skeins of 50 grams, I think they are, of I think it's lace weight gray yarn, and stitch markers, and a bag from Ann Brody, and cards from Brittany. It's like Christmas in one package, so it's really exciting. We're glad to be able to give that away. Okay, now moving on to the dysautonomia awareness Cal-Cal-Lal, and Talia will be talking about this in a little bit. But I just want to say that the rules are basically the same, except that you have to have the majority of one or more of the following colors in the project: pink, red, blue, teal, turquoisey, aqua kind of colors. And as we've said multiple times, if it says a teal or a turquoise or something and it's more greenish, if the colorway says that it's that color, turquoise or teal or whatever, we'll accept it.
Yeah.
But please show the ball band. Not that we don't trust you, but just so we know what it is, okay? Do we have... my yarns, as always, are featured. Talia's patterns, as always, are featured. And if you do them together, as always, there are 3 chances of a prize for the FO. Let me just make sure about... we have a prize donated by Rena, who is Rena Gale, an $8 or less downloadable Ravelry pattern. So thank you, Rena. That's very generous. We're appreciative of that. We have a Happy Fuzzy yarn in the macaw colorway. That's the second skein. And this one that I can never pronounce.
Grits Farvpot?
Grits Farvpot in the soda noodle colorway.
Soda noodle.
Okay. I'm sorry. German. I tried German when I was in Germany, and I just couldn't quite grasp it. You would think with English being my native tongue, German wouldn't be so hard, but I actually gravitate more to the Latin languages. This one, or the Romance languages, this one, Germany just kind of, I had a hard time. I think it's Gitz Farvpot in the soda noodle colorway, but I don't know.
Because soda noodle sounds kind of
it does sound
Germanic.
And it might not be German. It might be something else, but I think it's German or Dutch.
Or at least Germanic.
Yeah, I think it's Germanic. Anyway, so that one is it's in a red, white, and blue color, and it's 75%, 25%. I think it's like merino and not polyamide.
Polyamide.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that. That's the color. So, did you want to say something though about the alongs here? I mean the design.
I'm not sure how much. I don't have a lot of brain power right now.
She overdid it.
Yeah.
We told her not to overdo it. She did it anyway.
Well, we had to
so
go
all
shopping.
you moms out there, Mama Sue, you have my permission to chastise her
Jess
loudly.
already yelled at me. She used
I don't care. That's not
She
Mama
used my
Sue.
first and middle name and everything.
That's not Mama Sue. No one can do it like Mama Sue.
Apparently, shopping at 2 clothes stores and Walmart while you're in the middle of a flare is very, very bad. Used the Walmart riding cart for the first time, and I'm a terrible driver.
She is. She really is. I kept telling people that she didn't have her permit yet.
Well, it doesn't slow to stop. It sort of jerks to stop.
And it's funny because she wants to beep. When she backs up, it beeps.
Yeah. But I think it definitely made Walmart easier to deal with.
Yeah, because we had to do some necessary shopping earlier in the day, and Taya can't really tell you why right now. If you look on the prayer request thread, you'll see why. But we had to do some necessary shopping, and that took about an hour, I guess. And then we came home and went out to eat and went to Walmart. And
shopping generally takes a lot. When someone has dysautonomia, it's just the being vertical for that long. The end of grocery shopping last week started making me lightheaded. So I kind of knew I was headed into a flare as it was.
Well, then she didn't help anything by going out with friends at 9 o'clock at night and staying out till after 11.
We stayed at their house,
You were
and I
supposed to
had
be
my legs
asleep.
up.
You were supposed to
I
be
had
asleep.
my legs up.
She was supposed to go to sleep because we had mass at 7 the next morning, which she had to get up for. But did she listen to anybody? No.
And then I napped from after mass till about 11. But
She hibernated all day.
and then we went for a walk.
We went for a walk and she...
for like
45 minutes?
45 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's about killed me.
We took it very slow, but it's just on top of everything else.
On top of everything else, I spent the rest of yesterday lightheaded and regretting my life decisions.
Would she change them? No.
But
She has a screw loose.
with the previous talk about spoons, sometimes
She went
you
into
don't.
spoon debt.
Yes, sometimes you don't get the recharge. I stole the spoons for the next day for the previous day, and then when I needed them on Sunday, I didn't have them.
Yeah. You didn't just borrow them; you stole them, and they got what do you call it? Fenced.
So I'm still in a little bit of debt right now. I went to bed early, but I'm still not quite right.
Did you go to bed before we did?
I headed back to my room before you did.
Because I was up. I was up at 7:30. I was upstairs.
Yeah, I was.
Because I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep till she got home. She wasn't driving or anything, but
No, my friends came and picked me up.
her friends are good about that. They're pretty good about that.
But darn it, I was tired of having my life determined by this dang blasted thing, and I wanted to see my friends.
They could have come over here and stayed.
No.
Yes, they could have. What do you mean, no? Yes, they could have.
It was hard enough to entertain her 4-year-old.
Yeah, the 4-year-old. He's fun. He's adorable. Like, he's a little adorable.
He is adorable. Even if he did want me to go when we were too loud for his TV show for him to hear.
Until you started going away.
And then he wanted a hug and didn't understand why he didn't get one right away. But
Only child syndrome.
mhm,
He's adorable.
he is
He's so
adorable.
cute.
But
He's got a couple of my toys.
yes, he does.
I think he has one of yours, too.
And I love the things that kids pick up on. You know, he was playing church,
Yeah.
playing mass.
Yeah.
It was adorable.
He was officiating the mass. Very cute.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it. I wish I had, because I was here.
Yeah, it was adorable.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm in spoon debt right now.
And she can't talk.
No, not at all.
No, I'm not going to do this.
Yes,
We
you
will
are.
turn it off, and we will start over again. Sit up.
No, you're comfy.
Uh-huh.
Actually, you're bony. You're not comfy.
There are perks. Okay, you said you have
we
to...
can fix this.
No. Biddy does not wish to be a pillow.
Yes, he does.
Okay, you're first.
Yes. But only one. I don't have to do 2 in a row. I could just do one and then.
If you have 10, I have 9.
Yeah. So it wasn't really an awareness thing because I simply don't have the brain power for real awareness. So you got kind of like a mini update / awareness / I don't really know what that was.
/ I'm winging it.
So I know my show notes passed over. There we go.
Passed over what? New York?
Somewhere.
Somewhere over the rainbow. Yes, lots of references. We haven't done references in a while.
So, This one got done because someone whined.
I don't whine. I don't whine.
She wanted her horsey.
You mean like you whine for the yarn?
She wanted her horsey.
Booyakasha! Booyakasha! I want
horsey.
horsey! Open the bag, you oboe head.
Davina actually really loves it.
I know.
But for her, though, I make it a lot more energetic and like a full-fledged whine. It's like, oh, horsey! Not quite like that.
No. That sounds like a kid from
Sounds like Ralphie.
Ralphie. Not Ralphie, his brother.
Ralphie, I can't get up. Okay, so this is Scarlet, or named to be otherwise determined when Mom figures out what the heck she wants me to call this.
Right now, it's Scarlet.
Yes.
I can't remember what I actually named my pony when I had it.
I feel like
I just know it was
have a
Scarlet.
smudge on it.
It might.
But this is one of my patterns, Sparkle Unipony. I'm using a bunch of Knit Picks Brava. What? Knit Picks Brava worsted. Wait,
Is it- no,
sport. Sport. Yeah. Except for this gray, I can't remember what this was. It's some other sport yarn.
Is it a an indie dye or is it just another sport yarn?
It's just another Knit Pick sport.
Looks like it might be Dove or something.
I can't remember. It's not a Brava though.
Oh, okay.
So I have another ear in here somewhere. There it is. So she's got.
And this one, she won't have to do the horn on this one because I don't want a unipony. I just want my pony.
Yeah, because she had a pony as a child.
And I don't know what happened to it.
Because it was a crocheted one.
Yeah, my great aunt. No, my great aunt did it for me.
So
There we go. Now it's starting to look like a pony.
like that, and then
Do you need help or you?
I think I have enough hands.
Okay.
And then it built the. I'm starting on the neck.
It's gonna be about the same size too.
Mm-hmm. Just a smidge smaller.
I think when my great aunt did it, she used double crochet or maybe half double crochet because the stitches are different. You know how you sometimes remember something visually?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you exactly what it was, but the stitches are definitely different. She either did double crochet or half double crochet. So this is gonna show the stuffing at all. So it's
No,
great.
it's not.
That was
Well,
that one's going upstairs.
My toys don't show stuffing.
That one's going unless I do it.
The toys I create don't show stuffing.
even mine don't have. You can't when the stitches were bigger. You know when I stopped, they don't show the stuffing.
This one does.
Just a little bit. And so most of them don't. This one does a little bit. I think because it's so much of a difference in color, and I also had a bigger stitch.
And I think also you were stuffing a little bit firmer.
Yeah,
maybe?
it was a lot firmer. Oh, okay. My turn.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay, in my Kikimoo Holiday Owls bag, I thought I would finish this by now, but oh, not this one. Okay, no, I wouldn't have finished this one. I could have, but I didn't. I didn't think I would. This is my Seafoam 2 baby hat. I finally took a picture of the other one. We can take that to the pregnancy center. But I made some progress on this. And this is the colorway is teal, and this is what I was talking about, the kind of greenish that if you can say that it's a teal colorway, it will be acceptable in the dysautonomia. And this is, I like the way this is turning out. I really like working the worsted weight yarn on the loom. The single, it doesn't hurt my hands. I haven't quite mastered the guide, whether it's an empty pen or whatever. I haven't really tried it for the really fine weight looms that have the sock weight yarns because they're really close together. So once I mastered that, then I might be able to do some fingering weight stuff. And Laura told me she would help me to learn to do flat next time I see her if she's at Shenandoah. So that'll be good.
I bet you can learn how to turn.
Yeah, so I can turn. So I'm going to see if I can do it before I see her there, 'cause she might not be able to come.
Right.
But, you know, and we're planning on going, but there's no guarantee either. So,
Right.
so that's that.
Okay, so me next.
You next. You next.
In my fun bag. Sorry, things all fell and stuff. There we go.
Do you have everything you need where you can reach it?
Yeah.
Okay.
In my Kickaboo Bags teacups bag are the recess socks. Miss L's basic 6-ply sock pattern by Miss L using Marigold Gen Superwash DK in colorway Sidewalk Chalk for Mom.
And I told her that if she takes her time on it, she can just put it under the tree for Christmas for me. So.
Although I think she really wants her pony for Christmas.
Yes, I do.
So.
But I can go for my birthday as well. My birthday's just a month later.
And then second sock. I think I'm gonna barely have enough yarn.
Oh, really? Wow. Is that the same weight as what I have? I can't remember.
I think it's about the same. I can't remember.
Well, if you need some, let me know.
No, I mean, I think I'll have enough, but it's gonna be close.
Wow.
So
I might have a little extra toe that's a little blue or something.
yeah. But knitting also doesn't take nearly as much as you
Oh, I know.
think it will. So, unlike crochet, which
Eats up more than you think.
yes. So getting there, slowly but surely. I think I had added. Normally I do about 6-inch cuff, and I think I did 6.5. So maybe that extra 0.5 on each.
The cuff?
Not cuff,
The leg?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I really like that color. I still like that color. And I'm not usually, although I found that I do like browns more than I thought. I don't like necessarily the bland kind of, sometimes I like the tan, but I really like this dark brown. It's pretty. It's rich.
Yeah.
We can't be having any poor colors. Okay. My next one you haven't seen in a while. My On Cloud 9 project from the Lala Simple Shawl Pattern by Laura Linneman. And this is in my Valeria bag. Valeria gave this to me, I think, for my birthday a few years back. And I finally started the second ball of yarn. I had waited and waited because I wanted to make sure I was doing it the right way. I love this. And this is exactly what Talia was talking about in terms of how much yarn, how far it can go. Where is it? I had this itty bitty, there, okay, here's the end. I had this itty bitty skein of yarn, or what remaining of a skein of yarn, left, and I said, Taya, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it across. And she said, oh, I think you will. So I did, and not only did I do one, I think I did two, and I still have this much left. And I said, that's not going to go across. So I started my new skein of yarn, so I'm on the second one.
I told her she should start in the middle of the row.
I don't really want to. I'm having enough trouble as it is weaving in ends with knitting. I don't have as much problem with crocheting, but knitting I find a little difficult. So I love this pattern. Absolutely love this pattern. It's beautiful. Every time I take this out, Daddy comments on it. I think part of it is the color, but part of
it's the same thing that made me want to make the make the shawl when Heidi first did it.
Yeah, Heidi made it in the same color. Heidi is Knitty Girl, and she made this in the natural, and that's what made me want to make it.
Same here.
And I wanted it in that color. Taya ended up making it in my Forever in Blue jeans.
But initially I wanted it in that color.
But it's still beautiful. The pattern's still beautiful.
Yes, it is.
And my little DPN cozy that I'm using to hold on to my needles here, if I can get this to do what I want to do, is by Sheila, who is Blue Yarn Always from the Never Cast Off podcast. And this is my difficulty in doing this is no way the fault of this cozy. It's because I have all thumbs apparently. It works beautifully for this. And that's why I use all the needle cozies I buy from her.
I only use needle cozies for DPNs.
Because I don't use DPNs right now. But isn't that gorgeous? I just love it. So it was really nice to be able to work on something bigger, and it didn't hurt my hands as much. So I'm thinking maybe I need to get away from using some of the smaller needles for a little while. And maybe I can finish this before, I don't know if I'll finish this before Shenandoah. That might be pushing it a little bit. But, because I have...
Do you really want to wear white to Shenandoah?
Yeah. Maybe I should work on K's.
Yeah.
You know, I have the bonfire still that I've had for...
Because I wouldn't wear white there.
Yeah. But anyway, I enjoyed working this, and it's fun to bring this bag out again. This is a fun bag, and I've seen a couple now in the States, but I'd never seen one like this before Valeria sent it to me, and now I see them occasionally at craft stores and things. So thank you, Valeria, for this bag. Love it.
So in my next bag, Silvershed USA Kitties in the News bag. This is Dark Ruby, and it's the On the Forest Floor pattern by Simone Carit. Using Miss Babs Yao's of Lettuce Skein in the colorways Obsidian, Pewter, and Blatz.
Did you do any? It doesn't look like you did a lot of work on that, did you?
No, I didn't.
It's beautiful.
I changed colors.
Oh, did you?
You can barely see. I
the
changed
gray.
to the gray.
Yeah. Isn't that beautiful?
Well, what happened was I didn't read properly. Initially, I went across the row in black, and then I realized I needed to be in the gray, so I had to rip back the row and start. So I knitted a little bit more than what's actually visible. And you can't really see it because it's black going to gray.
It's pretty, though. You'll be able to see it.
You'll be able to see it when
after a couple rows.
Yeah.
And a knit stitch, one stitch is back and forth, right?
I beg your pardon?
When you're knitting, is the full stitch back and forth, or is it just the one stitch?
A knit stitch is just one stitch.
Okay.
Stockinette is the combination of knits on one side, purls on the other.
Okay, so the stockinette stitch has two parts, but the knit stitch has one.
The knit stitch is just a solitary knit stitch, just like a purl stitch is just a solitary purl stitch.
Okay. But the stockinette stitch...
The stockinette stitch is the combination of knits on the front side, purls on the wrong side.
It takes two rows to make one stockinette stitch. But a knit takes
well,
just one.
A stockinette isn't just a stitch. A stockinette is a stitch pattern, for lack of a better term.
Well, it's a fabric, but...
Yeah, it's not a stitch. You wouldn't just say, I did a stockinette stitch.
Right.
You have to have a combination
because
of stitches.
Because in Tunisian, which is a cross between like crocheting and knitting, you don't get the one stitch until you go back and forth.
No, it's not the way knitting works.
Okay.
Knitting, you would say you do a knit stitch when you do your first...
And then you, yeah. Okay.
For example, this is a knit stitch, Mom. I'm just going in here. That's just a knit stitch.
Right.
Purl stitch.
Right.
I don't want to complete that purl stitch, though.
Put a little bump in there. Okay, let me make sure I didn't skip something here because I was talking.
But yeah, that's all stockinette is. And just like garter, that's just knit on all sides.
Unless you're in the round.
Unless you're in the round, in which case you knit on the right side and purl, or knit on one row and purl on the next row.
Okay, this one...
Round.
That might seem like a simplistic question, but there you go. This one I blame for my hands hurting. Because I worked on this last night in my Silvershed USA Purple Hoovian, Crocheting Hoovian bag. Is my monkey bag project, and the reason I blame this for my hands hurting is because I realized that I was paying attention to the movie and I didn't read the directions properly. So I went from doing the rows, all of a sudden I'm about ready to finish. I'm like, wait a minute, that's too small for a bag. I didn't realize I had to do it for a certain amount of inches, the single crochet all the way around. So I had to take it all out and redo it. So I started the next color for the bag. This is the surprise backpack pattern. So it's a cute little size bag. And it was beginning to hurt when I was knitting, when I was holding it. It was
not knitting.
Crocheting. It would begin to hurt my hands here.
That's where my hands usually hurt if I'm going to get crochet cause pain.
But it's going to be a nice size little bag. I think I have to do... I'm not really giving anything away. If I say I'm going to have to do it a certain amount of inches. Yeah, it's more than 5 inches is all I'll say. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because you need to do bag sized.
So it's... And I'm not sure if it's 5 inches from the bottom or is it 5 inches from the...
I'm sure it's whatever you desire.
Let me see here. It says... Well, let me see. It says here... Until the piece measures. So from the bottom, it has to measure the amount that they say. And I may make it a little taller if I think it's not big enough. But, you know, that's a pretty good size, right? So, this is actually fun. And I blame Vonnie for this. She had this on one of her groups. I forget which one it was. And it was a nice use of cotton yarn. So, but I have to be careful about ripping out and then redoing to where I got,
Right.
especially with crochet. And the weather coming in has been really bad, so it wasn't the best. Like Talia, she has spoons. I don't know what you call what I have, but if I push it too much, I don't have it anymore. So, or maybe I have something. Maybe it's a little bit, you know, I don't know how you would say that, but anyway, I can't think.
I stopped paying attention.
I can't. Well, you always do, or never do. I don't know.
Or like Drax was saying, I stopped listening once you said we need a plan.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say reference because you should know that one.
Yes. So, in my Plover Bird Kissing Bunnies bag is the Just a Little Chilly mitered square Afghan using Scrap Sport, DK, and worsted weight yarns.
Is that this one here?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I'm actually pulling back a little bit. I started on this row, so I'm in the middle of the row.
Right. Well, what's that color you're working on? That's pretty.
I don't know.
I like that.
I'm not sure if I got it from someone or if I used it in project.
That's really pretty. It's really close to what's my one maroon. Then maybe a little more brown.
So, this is from Davina's Donnie with a Dash of Leo hat.
You finished that quick.
Oh, yeah. I actually had to add a little bit up here because I ran out at the beginning, but you can hardly tell. And then I added this red. Almost. Oh, that is the last one for this row.
Oh, cool.
Then I start a new row.
Is this Marigold Jen or mine?
That's yours.
That's my Nightwing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, got,
That's Rishi? Or is it,
I
or
can't
is it
remember.
Tea break? Not tea break, coffee break? No, it's not
It's
coffee
not
break.
coffee break.
It's either Rishi or Biker Chick.
Oh. Not that one.
No, it must be...
Or it might have been one someone gave to me.
it could be.
Because honestly, I don't have, like, all the yarns. It doesn't have enough blue for tea break.
Yeah. Or even for... it's not this one. It might be the other one.
Yeah. Wait, biker chick or whatever.
Yeah.
But regardless, I don't actually, like, not all these yarns are from my stash, so I don't necessarily know what all of them are. But I'm headed into, after this one, I'll be headed into the sixth row.
So it's getting pretty good size.
Yes. Still not anywhere near where I need it to be because, well, it's the wrong way around, but,
There we go.
I mean, it's still,
It's so pretty.
needs a bit of work.
Are you done with that then?
Yes.
Okay. All right, my next one is my unnamed Preemie Baby Hat project, and this is a loom knit project in my Silver Shed USA Caterpillar bag, and this is for medium, I think. And this is the one I thought I might have finished, but I didn't. And this is the Jazz Stripe colorway. It's Hobby Lobby yarn. So, and I have to see if this fits Jimena. If it doesn't, it'll be a micro baby hat, you know, micro preemie. I'm sure that the pregnancy center gets some children who are small
Yeah.
because, you know, they're not always the best nourished necessarily. So this, I think like I'm about maybe an inch from finishing this one, maybe. Hopefully this one will be done next podcast. And this is this loom says doll looms, and somebody said that they were out. I think it was Beth who said
Yeah, I think Beth is.
that this small gauge loom, this doll looms, they don't make looms anymore, which is really sad because they make a nice loom. I love the Cindy looms as well, but they make a nice loom. So this is what I'm doing on this one.
Is that all you have to say about that?
That's all I have to say about that.
Alright. Well, this one's going to go really quickly. In my Plover
Plover
I still can't do that.
It takes talent.
It takes something. So, in my Plover Bird Creepy Llamas bag is a secret project. Basically a design.
Yay!
It might not be done for another 20 million years, but it's being worked on.
Yeah. Okay. The next one
I need to
is
see how stuck there.
the next one is in my Knitting's my bag, Gnome's bag, and this is my Precious Heirloom shawl. It's the I'll Be There For You shawl patterned by me. And the yarn is Lucky Jenny Knits. I don't think she sells yarn, but she made this for me a while back. And this is going to take some time simply because this is on size 6s, and I generally like to use larger needles. So it is moving along, and I think this is going to be a real nice little scarf type thing. I'm sorry, Ty, I don't want to poke you.
You didn't. No one there.
So this yarn is gorgeous, and I love working the pattern, and it has a mistake in it, but I'm not going to worry about it because I'm keeping it. As you can see, this is a beautiful color.
It is.
And I think it'll be plenty long, and it'll be a lot more shallow than the one I did in the DK. So I'll be able to wear this maybe 3 seasons instead of, 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really fun. I'm enjoying the yarn. I'm enjoying the pattern. So I guess it'd be bad if I didn't enjoy my own pattern, right?
Yeah, it would. But you could not enjoy a pattern in a certain yarn.
Right, or a certain color or whatever.
Yeah.
I like the way it's working up in a variegated like that.
I'm sorry. So, in my Clover Bird Stained Glass Batman is Tea Break, which is Mom's I'll Be There For You pattern. And it's using Miss Babs's, this isn't Yowza, this is Killington in the colorway Coffee Break.
The base is Killington?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Is that her sport weight or?
It is. It's the one with some silk in her or something.
Oh,
I think.
I'll love with that. It's pretty.
So.
It's very nice. That looks pretty.
Mhm.
It does.
So
look
it's
pretty.
slowly but surely growing. Worked on this during watching Avengers Ultron with the family.
That was the movie we were watching last night for family time. Is that all?
That's it.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, the next one is in my Mama Sees Owl bag. And this is September the Baby Turtle from the Biddy the Bashful Baby Turtle pattern. That's Taya's pattern. And I did a little on this, but the lighting is so bad and it's been raining so much that I wasn't able to see, so I stopped. I only did a little bit on it. And you can probably hardly tell. But I just didn't want to risk having to take it all out again. And, just because I was splitting stitches and things. I said, okay, you can see how dark some of these stitches are, like right around here. It was just too dark to be working in a semi-dark room. So I will work more on this when I have more light, because I want this. I want this, and I plan to do, if I have enough yarn, I plan to reverse the colors, these 2 colors, for the body. So I have 2 of them. Can I have my hook? My hook. Mine. So, having fun with this. I love this pattern. It's one of my favorite of hers, along with the owl and the little baby patch. Not I call them patches, but it's actually Brat.
Yeah. Is that all you?
That's all I have to say about that.
Okay. In my Silvershed USA Fun in the Woman Cave bag is Nightwing Bunny, just because he felt a little jealous that other crocheting was happening and not him. So he got some work.
He whined. I want to get work like the pony. I want to get work like the pony. Only his ears would go like this.
Well, the pony was getting unnecessary attention. It wasn't tortoise versus
Is he
pony.
Is he an only bunny?
It wasn't tortoise versus pony. Tortoise versus hare. It's supposed to be his along.
Isn't he cute?
Well, if his head would stay on it.
He's so upset that his head fell.
You know, it's been known to happen to the best of us. So
He's cute, Taya.
thank you. He's also another one that can't be worked on in the dark, or if you're having trouble focusing.
Yeah.
Just because the yarn's so dark. And it's undead yarn, werewolf based in the colorway Cookie Monster, and Jaws Tunnel was the eye.
Okay. In my Ploverbird sheet bag is my 3 bags full dishcloth from the Christmas basket dishcloth pattern by Lisa Carnahan. Carnahan? Yes, Carnahan. And I did a little on this. Not a whole lot. I can begin to see the pattern a little. I don't think you'll be able to see it.
No, I don't. It'll be well. They actually
Can you
can.
see it?
They actually can.
The other pattern. So I'm kind of happy. I mean, I'm doing a knitted pattern.
Yay!
It makes me happy. Or as Lorraine would say, I'm chuffed. I have to ask. I saw somebody else who was British say that. Lorraine, what does that mean? Chuffed. Does that mean like you're excited about it? What does that mean? I don't know what that word means. And Lorraine is. I forget her avatar. I can see her name. I just can't remember what it is. Lorraine. Ellis Krauss. Yeah. And she's got a good podcast too. Sometimes she does her makeup stuff and sometimes she does the crafts. I don't do the makeup because I don't wear makeup, but I do like to watch the craft ones. Because she's very adventurous. She tries everything. What's that?
Okay, so in my Silver Shade USA Little Avengers bag is Baby Heimdall.
Baby Heimdall in the baby bag? The baby Avengers bag?
So this is F597 Rolled Brim Baby Hat pattern by Plymouth Yarn Design Studio.
That's the name of the pattern?
Well, to find out Ravelry.
Oh, F597 rolled brim baby hat. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Uh-huh.
Because there was one that had a colorway that was like all numbers or something.
Yeah. A Wild Hair Pinnacle sock in the colorway Colorama.
That's really close to this color.
It's similar.
I mean, it's different, but it's got more blues, I think, or oranges or something.
Well, it's the way they pool differently
Yeah.
and stuff, too. So,
She does a good job with those neon type colors.
yes, she does. So it's slowly but surely.
Ooh, pretty. From where I'm sitting, it almost looks like it's blending instead of pooling. I should wear my glasses.
Well, gives that impression. So,
Very
slowly
nice.
but surely, because, we're not using huge needles.
And you said you're using this baby hat?
Yes.
Yeah.
This lives in my purse.
Is that how you say about that? Okay. In my Me, My Dog, and Some Yarn bag that I won from Heidi, and this is made by Kim, is my Little Boy Blue baby hat project from the hand knit pull on baby hat. And this is knit flat. And I do this every time I pull this out of my bag.
Just pull the clippy thing off.
The last time I did that, it got all stuck. So this one I did a little bit on. Because all of a sudden I got to being, the day or two before, and I was like, oh my gosh, I only have like two or three projects. I don't know if you can see the kind of a ribbing effect on it. And this is seamed when I get to that point. So this is just, the yarn is Knit Picks Brava worsted in the sky colorway. I could have just called it the Sky Baby Hat. I'll probably do a second one anyway with this yarn, so probably sky colorway. So this is fun. I'm using US 7s for this, so it's not hard on my hands, and because it's small, I feel like I get something accomplished if I do a couple rows.
Right.
So that's that.
Okay. In my Ploverbird Turtles bag is the Chirp Hat with
Team Turtle. Team
which
Tortoise.
is the Diana's Hat pattern by Joanna Johnson.
She's ignoring me.
Yes. And this is
I
for
love
me.
that color. That's gorgeous.
And it's made to match the bright blue in my my bluish
And that would work for the
on the forest floor.
cardiac dysautonomia.
Yes.
That's pretty.
So
Very pretty.
slowly but surely, just typical Diana's hat.
Works for the Tea and Tails as well.
Yes, because of the pattern name.
Yep. All right.
And a lady at church now has the pattern because she likes the hat, so
Yeah.
she got it on Ravelry.
Okay, now, can't show you this. This is a design in progress. I didn't do a whole lot of work. I did some swatching to see if something would work, and I can't quite figure out how that's going to work, so I might go back to my original idea, and I think I'm going to pull out the yarn and use something else, and then go back to it. But I just played around with it. I didn't actually work on the blanket itself much, so it's in here. Okay. Do you have any FOs?
No, I have one more project.
Oh, you have one more project. Okay.
In my Silver Shed USA books bag is Cinnamon Toasted Butterfly. And this is the Goldenrod Shawlette by Marilyn Giselle Maupin. And I'm using the person from church that I told you about who wanted to make Diana's hat. She had some yarn that she wasn't using because she didn't care for the color, and her daughter had given it to her, but she didn't want the yarn to go to waste. So she gave it to me. It's Koike Kirsty Merino Crepe in the colorway 1128K. I'm glad she was wrong and that it's not fingering weight because there's a lot more to do with it.
I'm glad she was wrong that it wasn't like orange.
Mm-hmm. So Mom already has plans of what outfits she's going to wear the shawl with.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Well, she didn't give it to me, so she gave it to you, so I have to get it from you. It's very pretty.
So, this shawl I made before. It was the first. I used green Knit Picks yarn, and it was the first real shawl I made.
Mm-hmm. And this is non-superwash, right?
Yes.
It's actually pretty soft for a non-superwash.
So, slowly but surely.
I like that. It's very nice.
And I might add extra rows because I'm not using this needle size suggested. They suggested 10s. I used 9s because that's what I had readily available. And I'm glad I didn't use 10s. I think it would have been too open.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not.
But
that's kind of a thinner yarn, I think, than a
yeah,
traditional.
And it's a DK, I think.
I think we said it was a DK, yeah.
Yeah.
When you looked it up.
And it's one of those things that the pattern page on Ravelry said use a DK. Then the
What are you looking for?
my clippy thing.
Clippy thing? Oh, your little metal container.
I thought I had one.
There
There it is. But the pattern page on Ravelry said use DK. The yarn they suggested within the pattern was an Aran weight. Like the yarn they were using was an Aran weight, and then something else said like fingering. So it's like completely inconsistent.
Well, in other words, you can use anything you want. You
Yeah.
just have to adjust.
But it will definitely affect your size.
And the amount of yarn.
And yeah,
It matches your bag.
yes, it does.
I have to get that bag. I like that bag. Okay. And that's an Ambrody bag.
Yes.
All right, FOs?
Yes, I do have one of those. I finished Davina's RAR hat, which is another Diana's hat. And
She'll want to wear that to church today, probably. Boy, that's bright.
I know.
Wow.
So
Is that fingering weight?
it is.
I want to try that on and see how it feels differently than the Donnie.
Although I did add inches on it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel too bad.
Yeah, I added inches this time.
I still like the other one better, but this one, at least with the added inches, doesn't feel bad.
Yeah. So your things always catch on those stitches.
My bobby pin?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I had to block this still. And that'll also add
Yeah.
a little bit of...
There we go. Okay. All right. Let's see. Where are we at? What's next? Do you have anything else? Royalties?
You have yarn first. Yarn
Okay.
goes before royalty.
All right. I have 2 skeins of yarn drying downstairs. And then I have these. one. This one has been rescanned. This one is, I was originally going to call this Evergreen, and then I realized I had an Evergreen. This doesn't look like it. So I'm calling this, when I say when I Eats Me Spinach?
Yeah.
When I Eats Me Spinach. It's a Popeye reference. It's a tonal green.
You should probably write that on the band so you don't forget.
Yeah. When I Eats Me Spinach. It's a very dark tonal green, kind of a Christmas green. Can you see the tone to
Yeah,
it?
they can.
So this is When I Eats Me Spinach. Oops.
It's very pretty.
Thank you. I really like the way this one turned out. I might have to do this in a heavier weight so I can make a shawl or something out of it.
And I have seen everyone's, while she's wrapping that up, I have seen everyone's comments on Ravelry. Sorry about no responses yet. There weren't any comments at the beginning of the week when I had energy, and then when people started commenting, I was knee deep in a flare. So
Well, I did answer a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's one. And then this is What a Maroon, and this one has not yet been reskeined. You can see it still has my ties from when I dyed it. And this is the colorway that Rena won when she, for the testing. What a Maroon. And these are both kind of Christmassy colors or fall colors, but they can be used at any time. I like this color a lot. And this is What a Maroon. And this is a Bugs Bunny reference, although it can definitely be used for Christmas. My husband named this. Well, I said it and he wanted it.
yeah,
Or did he name it?
he named it. I think
He named it. Yeah, he did.
because you didn't want to name it that at first.
Yeah. I think I had cranberry something. or
Yeah,
other.
you did.
So this is What a Maroon.
But cranberry would have made it more seasonal.
Yeah. And that's fine. It is very seasonal color, but it can be used anytime. There. And this one will be, and I have two downstairs of different colors. Hopefully I'll have more than that to show you next week. And I hope to be updating the shop in the next, week or two.
Is that all?
That's it for that.
Do you have any stash enhancement?
I do. How much do you have?
I have 3 things.
I can do it in batches of 3.
Okay.
Batches of, so I have 3 things. Okay, you saw Taya's tea. This is my Plum Deluxe order, my purple package. I do not have a membership. I would like to, but I don't drink it fast enough. So I got several teas, actually. I went on, and I'm like, well, I'm here. The one they gave me that was my little throw-in is called Vista Blend Herbal Tea. This tea reminds us to slow down. Sometimes the best view is where we already are. This has honeybush tea, Oregon lavender, apricots, apple pieces, marigold, apricot essence, no caffeine. That's
Why aren't you wearing your glasses?
because it doesn't always help. This is the one that we had today, the blueberry orange, isn't it? Blueberry orange delight tea?
Yes. I didn't know you got some for yourself.
Yeah, I did. I got 2 of them. So you already heard what was in that, so I'm not going to read that one. Happy Hour Blend Herbal Tea, a fun, feisty blend that makes every tea moment a happy hour. All organic honeybush tea, hibiscus, lemon verbena, lime extract, love, gratitude, no caffeine. So that's this one. Chocolate hazelnut. I love chocolate hazelnut tea. This perfect flavor combo makes a rich, delightful cuppa. All organic honeybush tea, cocoa nibs, hazelnut pieces, hazelnut essence, love, gratitude, no caffeine.
He also has, or used to have, a chocolate coconut one.
I know, I was looking for that one. I couldn't find it. And this one I've been wanting to try. It's called Stargazer Caramel Mott Chai. And it's all organic mott tea, cinnamon, ginger, or orange peel, cloves, cinnamon, aniseed, natural spice, and caramel essence. Love, gratitude, has caffeine. So I'm looking forward to trying this one. So I got 4 teas plus a little freebie, and then of course, the one Talia showed you. I love the purple package. Andy is awesome.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
So this is going to be really quick because, yes, this is just the tea you saw earlier that Mom got me, the Blueberry Orange Delight Herbal Tea. And we already ran through what was in it before. But it's very good. Your turn.
Okay, my next one, I was at Walmart. I didn't intend to pick up any yarn. I picked this up. Ty and I might share it because it's cotton. And we were thinking about making, Kay has a wash mitt. I don't know when I'll make that. I might end up making dishcloth or something.
I kind of want to make that wash
I
mitt.
do too, but I need to figure out how to use the not the DPNs, the Magic Loop. So that's what I got this for. And we can get 4 of them out of here. 4 of the large ones out of here. And then,
I'd probably make a large one because I have big hands.
yeah, me too. And I just like to have it sit over my hand better so I can grab on it. And I got another mandala. That's what I made my my first I'll Be There For You shawl. So this is 590 yards of a DK weight. So you know, I might make another one of my shawls, or I might make something else. I liked working with this for my shawl. Even if I decide to make another shawl, I like the way this worked up.
They had a lot of good choices.
They did. And then I picked up, because I know that right now my hands don't like bigger projects, and I know I can stop in the middle, but this will give me the opportunity to stop in the middle or finish something small and feel like I've got something accomplished. So this is, I had picked up last time I showed you some knitted dishcloths.
Oh, those aren't knitted?
This is crocheted.
Oh, okay.
So, and I know I could have just done squares from Ravelry and stuff, but this is just so if I can sit down and say, I want to try something, and I'll just grab this out and do it. Like, this is kind of cute. It's a faucet angel, and this will require me to have better control of my hands and not being hurting. It looks, look at this. And that's probably one of the more difficult ones. It says easy, but there's a whole bunch of really nice patterns in here, and I could use it even as a sampler. You know, if I wanted, I could, if they're all the same size, I could probably use them after I'm done. If I don't want to use them, I could just make them into a blanket.
Right.
So I'm kind of happy.
Probably not the angel one.
No, not the angel one. But. So that's what I got from Walmart.
Alrighty. My next one, my one friend, well, they're a couple. Both of them, I knew them when we were in college together. The wife is one of my best friends from college, and when they got together, they were each talking to me on the phone about different people they liked, and eventually I got to see them come together. So I kind of feel like
responsible for them.
Yes. But he's now doing reviews of like history books and stuff because one of his degrees is in history. And I had heard of Antonia Fraser from Dan Jones of the Baker Bears podcast.
I already have him.
And my friend James had just reviewed this book by Antonia Fraser called The King and the Catholics, England, Ireland, and the Fight for Religious Freedom, 1780 to 1829.
So we'll have Henry VIII in there probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
And
or Willie.
It's around the right.
Is Henry VIII earlier?
It wouldn't be that much earlier.
Because George III was for the was it George III who was for the
it might
American
be more
Revolution?
It might be more Elizabeth. Let's see. Because I can't think right now.
Because 1776 is when our revolution was, and that was George. And Henry VIII was not after George.
No, he wasn't. So no, you're right. It's a little bit late for Henry.
Might be Elizabeth. Or James even.
I think you're right. It's a little bit late. But I haven't read it yet. But James had an extra one.
And James is the guy.
Yeah, my friend had an extra one.
The husband.
Yeah. And he gave it to me. So I look forward to reading this once I have a brain again. I told him it's going to be a little while. But since this was an extra one and a gift, there you go.
Okay. My last thing was we went to Martin's, that's my commissary shopping. Last time I picked up a couple of little, I don't usually do this, but fall, I like cooking in the fall. Fall and winter I like to cook. So I got this. It's fall baking. And I found a recipe on Instagram, and Grammy Knitterbug posted a recipe for, let me see if I can remember, Amish cinnamon bread.
It was.
And the next day I tried it, and it's amazing. We're finishing off the first loaf. It makes 2 loaves. We're finishing off the first loaf we've had it for a week. And we'll start the second one once we finish the first one. It's really good. But I like my quick breads. And yes, what's her name on Ravelry? The one who asked me for it. She used to be Sampler Girl.
Tanya Marie.
Tanya Marie. I will try to get that recipe to you as soon as I can, Tanya. I did see it. I just haven't had a chance to respond. So I will try to get that to you. If I don't, poke me on Ravelry, because that's where I'll see you, okay? And I'll get that out to you as soon as I can. But this has just a lot of, it has cookies, and it has cakes and breads and all the kind of stuff I probably shouldn't be eating, but I don't care. And then I picked up this because I love soups. I think this is all, and some of these are slow cooker recipes, and it's just got, soups are really nice because they're not heavy for the most part. I mean, some can be, but it has all kinds of really nice looking soups. I'm always on the lookout for a good soup recipe, and Taya likes soups as well. My husband and Davina aren't so much into the soups and stuff, but you know, if I'm eating a lunch or something, or if we run out, like sometimes we run out of having enough food and I want Davina to eat a real meal, I'll eat something like this. So that's that. My acquisitions for that.
My final one is quite a big deal because I received a surprise package from Laura Smoot, Spinning Laura, and she had sent a nice little card, which is in the other room, and this lovely shawl.
Isn't that gorgeous?
And it is using Miss Babs Yaroza. I knew this color right away. This is Field Mouse.
We knew it was Miss Babs right away.
Oh, I knew this was Field Mouse. Like,
well, yeah, but you used it. I'm just saying we knew that the yarn was Miss Babs, and this is blocked beautifully.
And this was something jellyfish. But
it's a big shawl.
It's a nice big shawl. Basically, when I'm at home, I'm wearing it.
She wears it all the time, Laura. All the time at home. It's just such
because it's. Sometimes I get really hot during my flares. I'll fluctuate between hot and cold. So this is really nice because it covers my full arms when I get cold. But if I get hot, I can just flip it up really easily. So,
it's a beautiful shawl. I actually had to go look up the pattern, and I found it's in a book. So I have to see if I can find the book on Amazon.
And this, she said you actually shortened it from what it was. Yeah. So it was even longer in the book. And I know I yanked on this with my needles, but it's okay. I was doing something while watching. I'll push your end back in.
It's beautiful, beautiful. And the way she blocked it's a perfect weight, because this is worsted weight, but it's not, you know how sometimes you can get, it feels like overly heavy? This doesn't feel heavy at all. I mean, it's warm, but it doesn't feel heavy.
It's just the perfect weight.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
It was very thoughtful.
I'm just trying to, when I was knitting, I got excited and I pulled on the stitch a little bit. So thankfully I only pulled on where she wove in her end. So I'm just going to fix what I broke. So that's all. Thank you very much, Laura. This is amazing.
It is beautiful. Okay, I'm still reading my books. I have not read as much because I've been really tired and things have been taking my attention. And The Last Command by Timothy Zahn. It's a Star Wars book, and I have to finish that so I can get to Patrick Carr. And then
I didn't know you were on Last Command already.
Oh yeah, I told you that.
Oh, okay.
Still reading When the Lord Speaks to Your Heart and my meditation book. So I've got those that I'm reading, and I'm just generally plodding with that. Usually I can get through a book like that in a couple of days if I sit down and read it, but I just have too many things going on, too many things I need to get done. Excuse me. And I did quite a bit of writing this week, especially this weekend. I did a lot of actual writing, not just blocking it out so I can get rid of it. So that's good. I'm almost to the end of the original section that you sent me. So I'll be starting the new stuff, and I hope to get that out to her soon because I actually feel like writing again.
Which is good.
Which is good. So that's that. Do you have anything else?
Nope.
Okay, let me get my knitting ephemera.
Just thank you to everyone who commented. Sorry for lack of response on the boards. Like I said, when I had energy, there weren't any responses on there yet, and when I lost my energy, that's when everyone responded.
Okay. Knitting ephemera. We're going to talk about knickerbockers.
Wasn't there, I'm asking everyone else because you didn't know, wasn't there a sports team called the Knickerbockers?
I think there was.
Or-
I think New York Knicks or New York Knickerbockers.
Maybe that's what it is.
I'm not sure. Maybe Laura can tell us. Laura Concert or somebody else from New York. Okay. Knickerbockers are a form of knee-length pants often worn by boys in the winter in the early 20th century, along with knee-high stockings, sometimes called knickerbocker hose or knickerbocker stockings. These long socks often featured turn-down cuffs and shaping to allow the sock to fit over the calf. The term knickerbocker was also used to refer to Americans of Dutch ancestry who settled in New York after the pen name Diedrich Knickerbocker and used by Washington Irving. Oh, okay. After the pen name Diedrich Knickerbocker used by Washington Irving. Isn't that fun? I didn't know that. Okay. The term wool gathering came into use in the 16th century to refer to daydreaming, absent-mindedness, or idle thinking without purpose. The phrase probably derives from practice of gathering the small tufts of wool that catch on fences, bushes, and other objects as sheep graze. It took a long time to gather these pieces of wool, and each piece was very small, thus suggesting that the wool gatherer was spending a lot of time wandering about for minimal benefits. So that's your fun facts for your knitting ephemera for today. Now, are we podcasting Monday?
There shouldn't be any reason not to.
Okay. Right now, we are able to podcast Monday. Things may change in the future. We may start podcasting on the weekend. But right now, we're podcasting on Monday. So we want to wish you a very happy week full of knitting, crocheting, loom knitting, dyeing yarn, whatever it is you like to do. And a week full of every blessing and good thing. And we hope to see you back here again for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 320. And that's a wrap.
Bye.